Hey, I'm glad you made it. We wouldn't start without you. It's time for an apple fritter. Here's your host, Jimmy Apple.
Welcome to another episode of An Apple a Day's The Fritter. I'm your host, Jimmy Apple. How you feeling today, my friends? You feeling good? You feeling strong? You feeling better than you did yesterday? Excellent. You can't ask for better than that. Hey, today's going to be a little bit different. I don't have Dave with us today. I want to talk to you about something that I notice on a daily basis. I scour Facebook every day, several times a day, and I go to different groups. And you know we have Living with a Disability and we have Apple Chat, but I go to different groups as well of people with disabilities and so on. And one thing I notice, the same people are having the worst day of their life every day. They have the same complaints every day. They can't believe that their life has gotten so bad. Now, I don't know whether people believe that because they have a disability, they may feel like they have to remind other people that they have a disability by complaining about it. But I don't know how bad of a disease they have that they never seem to have a good day. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. Certain people, every day seems to be the worst day of their life. Now, I'm not getting down on anybody, believe me. I don't mean to, and I don't mean to sound like I am. What I'm trying to do is say, look, forget all those bad things that happened to you that brought you to the place that you're at right now. Forget it. Put that behind you. What's behind you is behind you. Look at what you can do now. Look at the positives that you can do now and brag about them. Stop complaining about the negatives and start bragging about the positives in your life. Brag about the things that you can do. You tell people like, oh, I used to be able to run 5 miles. Now I can barely walk 5 steps. Well, you know what? Brag about being able to walk the 5 steps. Or if you don't want to talk about that, what can you do now that you've perfected since you've become disabled? Can you sing? Evidently, you can write because you're writing all over Facebook. What about writing some positive stuff? Maybe you write stories. Maybe you write poetry. Or just write nice letters. But brag about your writing. Look at your writing ability. You can type, I don't know how long, a post about things that you can't do anymore. How about writing about things that you can do? Maybe you can cook. Maybe you like movies. What about writing about movies that you like? What about writing about your family or friends that come to visit you? Maybe you've taken up an instrument. Maybe you just like to sit outside and get the fresh air. Write about that. But please, stop focusing on the negatives in your life. Your future is as bright as you allow it to be. Remember that. And the pity party, everybody's allowed to have a pity party. Everybody. But the pity party can't be your whole life. All good parties come to an end. And that's when we stop and we clean up the mess. We tell our friends goodbye and we talk to you later on during the week. But, good parties end and people talk about them later. One of the saddest things I heard in one chat room was someone said they're disabled and they're closer to dying. Closer to dying than what? What could be so bad that you're closer to dying? How do you know you're closer to dying? Why? Because you have a disability? So I asked, what makes you closer to dying? Well, I have a disability and my life isn't as good as it used to be. I don't get the exercise that I used to get. All of these things, nothing saying medically that, I have 6 months to live because of this, that, or the other thing, but just because they're disabled. That's nonsense. Everybody's closer to dying. Every hour that passes, you're an hour closer to dying. Doesn't matter whether you have a disability or not, try and weed out the negative thoughts. Try and weed them out. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's kind of like smoking. You have to do it a little bit at a time. But try and weed them out a little bit and try and put some positive thoughts in it. Try and turn things around. I'm not saying you forget what you can't do. Try and push that to the back of the closet and start focusing on the things that you can do. And you'll see, once you start focusing on the things that you can do and stop laboring on the things that you can't do, things will start looking a little bit brighter, maybe a little bit lighter. Okay? That's just a suggestion. Hey, I want to thank you for stopping by today, and I want to remind you, no one ever went blind by looking at things from the bright side. So give that a shot, my friends. And here's one other thing. Right now, somebody's wishing that they were in your position. That's right. So don't give up. You've been listening to an Apple Fritter. My name is Jimmy Apple, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Have a great one today, my friends.
Join Jimmy tomorrow for another Apple Fritter. In the meantime, stop over at our YouTube group page, Living with a Disability, join in the conversation and make some new friends. See you next time.